Welcome
to Munda Makeover.
We have traveled all over Zambia to find hard-working farmers.
We want to share their success stories.
And where there are challenges, we will bring experts to help them gain the extra knowledge they need.
So they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields.
And increase their income.
We will see how farmers from across the country can benefit from our experts' advice.
While also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they improve their farms.
On
Munda Makeover!
Hey, Coz,
Yes, Kachanana.
do you sometimes find it hard to keep up?
With what?
Everything. It's like the minute you master one thing, the next thing, there's a new way of doing it.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
So how do we keep up?
Can you afford to be left behind?
This week, we're visiting a farmer who's going to help us answer these questions.
Let's go.
Today, we are in Baluba Ndola on the Copper Belt, and we are visiting Bright Ziva.
Bright has 4.5 hectares of land where he is farming maize, soya beans, and onion.
Hello.
Hi, how
Hi.
are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm okay. I'm Kachanana, and I'm with my friend.
I'm Koziani.
I'm Bright.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Bright.
Yeah,
Thank you
nice
very
to
much.
meet
You are
you.
most welcome.
And it's nice to see how green it is during the dry season with your irrigated onion.
The only challenge that we have is the inputs, especially fertilizers. Sometimes it go up. So this is the main challenges that we face.
Do you have any other part of farming that you would want to get into?
I'm planning to have a poultry.
Okay, what kind of chickens? Village chickens?
Broilers.
Broilers.
Nice.
Fantastic. We have some great experts that will definitely be able to help you with those challenges and maybe give you some advice about those chickens too.
Would you like to meet these experts?
Yes.
We're gonna go off, meet with the experts, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Wait for me, Kachanana.
When I heard that Munda Makeover will come to my farm, I was happy. When some expert come and visit your farm, it's the time to learn so that you can do better than you do. So to me, it's the time of joy.
A good harvest is dependent on a plant's ability to absorb and keep nutrients. So how do we achieve this on time and within budget? Botany Hangombe from Plant Catalyst is here visiting Bright. When Bright heard about Plant Catalyst, he decided to carry out an experiment. He has one plot of onions where he has used Plant Catalyst and one that he has not used it. What is more interesting is that the plot with the Plant Catalyst was planted a month later, and the difference is very clear.
Plant Catalyst had helped me a lot. As you can see, this onion has 2 months and some weeks, but it's grow fast.
Right.
According to fertilizer application, I have reduced by 10 kg.
That's fertilizer.
Yes, I'm using 40 kg instead to use 50 kg. Then in terms of drought, when I have a shortage of petrol, because of using this plant catalyst, the crop stand strong,
Right.
even when you are not even watering.
Fantastic.
Brighton has really said and seen the difference between where he had applied plant catalyst and where he had not applied plant catalyst. This product is non-GMO,
Right.
it's non-toxic, it's all natural, and it is 99.99% organic. And it can be used not only on onion,
Right.
it can be used on anything green. There are quite a number of benefits that this product comes with. It helps the plant to better utilize the available nutrients that are in the soil.
Right.
No matter how little they are, the crop will make use of those nutrients, and even the moisture around the plant. No matter how little that moisture is around the plant will make better use of it.
And climate change is a very big reality for all of us, especially some of us who are in the farming business, just like Bright here.
So, for example, a farmer who is using it and there's no rain, 1 week, the crop will not wilt.
Right.
It will still be looking very healthy, very bright, and it will still grow.
Right.
So it gives the energy to the crop to
Right.
grow, even in stressful conditions.
Now, we've heard from Mr. Bright in his testimony. Cost saving has also been a big benefit from him because of the usage of plant catalysts. Farming is a business, and where we can reduce costs, we tend to get better profits.
So this product gives an opportunity to the farmer to save, 1, fertilizer quantities, 2, the fertilizer cost by 25 to 35%.
Right.
Remember, plant catalyst is not a fertilizer, it's not a chemical. Very important. You still need to use some fertilizers, but reduce the quantity. But in as much as you reduce the fertilizers, the yield will still go up by at least 20%.
Wow.
Now, if you look at this onion and that one which was not applied with plant catalyst, already you can see the difference there.
Definitely.
That the one which was applied by plant catalyst, the yield actually will be much better, because look at the bulbs, the way they are forming, very good, very healthy.
I have observed in this field that the one which I am applying plant catalyst, even the pest is being reduced.
Because the crop grows healthier,
Of course.
it has that ability to fight against the pests that attack,
Exactly.
against the diseases. So I can give you an example of powdery mildew, especially the vegetables. There's that white stuff on the leaves.
Right.
So that disease, you will never ever find it when you are using plant catalyst.
And when it comes to cost, is it friendly for my pocket?
This product is quite affordable and it's quite available. So the way we distribute it, we identify what we call community agents
Right.
in the villages, in the rural areas where farmers are living. So for a 1 liter bottle, the price is 350 kwacha.
Okay.
We also have half a liter. This one costs 175 kwacha. It's actually sprayed on the leaves of
Fantastic.
a plant. You use 30 mils in 16 liters or 20 liters of water.
So, for a booster that is good for the environment, good for your pocket, and good for your crops, consider plant catalyst.
In farming, raining is every time. Then when the new technology comes, you should go with it. We are going to compare with the old system and the new system. Then when you find that the new system is doing good, then you go with it.
Are you thinking of growing big chickens and getting big prices at the market? Follow me.
With the effects of climate change, Bright is thinking of doing different things at the farm. He wants to get into poultry farming. To help out on this journey, we've taken Bright to a farm nearby to learn more on poultry farming. Kawachapiri from Farm Feed is here to tell us more.
How many chicks do you have in your poultry?
Currently here where we are standing, there are 500.
500.
Yeah, 500.
Tell us, what are the problems that a farmer will face, especially when it comes to the nutrition of the chickens?
One, it will be stunted growth. It means that the chickens will not grow as fast as they are supposed to be,
Right.
because they are lacking some nutrition. And if that happens, it means that the farmer will keep the chickens longer on the farm, and that will affect his cash at the end of it all. So nutrition is very, 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 very important, especially with regards to feed.
Okay. Moses, I can see you've been doing this for a while. What problems have you faced mostly? Because we want Mr. Brighton to be aware of the challenges that a farmer might face, especially at the beginning.
From day 1 up to day 14, somewhere there, you just have to take care, extra care of them. Thereafter, even the mortalities, if there are any, there will be very few.
Of course, there's so many places you can get feed, but I know that you're using farm feed right now, right?
Yeah. I've used other types of feed, but for this farm feed, I think it's much better in the sense that when I use other type of feed, the chicks will be ready at the market maybe in the 7th week.
still eating feed and
Yes,
consuming your
still
money.
using-
Tearing
yeah.
the farmer's pocket.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Okay.
So for farm feed, I started selling them at 5 weeks.
Wow.
From the
Even
look of
saving
the,
you money.
The big hand. That
Yeah,
was a
for
big
sure.
achievement.
so it's doing wonders.
You need to go with the categories of their growth. The first 14 days, you need to make sure that you give them the starter. Yes, because it has got a preventative mechanism that the manufacturer puts in the feed to help the chicks grow at that particular time, e.g. coccidiostat. It helps to fight the coccidiosis that may affect the chicken in that particular period. Then from 14 to 28 grower and 29 to slaughter, you give them the finisher.
Let's say somebody has poor feed. What kind of problems are they likely to face?
There are a lot of diseases that can affect our chicks if they are poorly fed. The feed intake is very important at every stage.
Okay.
So in order to match the intake and the requirement of the chicken, there's a placement of the feeders that must be observed. Always when you're feeding your chickens, you need to make sure that you fluctuate or you increase the height of the feeders so that they don't waste. And how to do that is you measure the back of the chicken should be at the level with the feeders.
Okay. What does that do?
That helps you, the chickens, to reach the feed with easy
Okay.
and reduce wastage.
To give a better understanding of their chicken feeds, Kaweche displays the varieties that are available through Farm Feed Limited.
Behind here, we have what we call complete feeds. You don't have to mix that feed, you just get it
Okay.
and feed to your chickens
Okay.
at the right stage.
At the
We have
right
got, yes, we've got 3 stages. We have got the starter, the grower, and the finisher. Other than that, there are some times when farmers have got their own maize at the farm and they want to use it so that they can get the benefit of using their own maize. So we have got what we call concentrates. This concentrate is mixed with the maize meal. You can touch it.
is normal mealie meal that we cook shima with.
Exactly.
I want to find out over the same concentrate. Are the ratio just the same in terms of mixing?
We have concentrates for starter, grower, and finisher. And the mixing ratios are the same. If you have got a 25, mix it with 37.5 kgs of maize meal. And if you have got a 50 kg concentrate, you mix it with 75 kgs of maize meal.
Okay. Farm Feed Limited chicken feed can be bought as a complete feed or as concentrates. If you are a farmer who grows maize, then you have the option of buying the concentrate and mixing it with your already milled maize and save money in the process.
All the years I have been in vegetable farming. This crop that we grow, it takes maybe 90 days. But here I have learned that in poultry, you are going to keep your chicken 6 weeks, then you are
5
in
weeks
the
in
market. So to me, it's very fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
There's a proverb that says you have to look after wealth, but knowledge looks after you. The search and need for knowledge is never ending, and when it comes to farming, it's absolutely necessary. Bright is a trained lead farmer in his community. International Development Enterprises, IDE, chooses local, respected farmers like Bright and trains them in different ways of farming that helps in fighting climate change. Bright then teaches the farmers around him on what he has been taught and experienced.
And my booster,
Bright. You want to do the whole class without me?
this plant catalyst booster is a new one. So we want to teach our farmers so that they can buy this product
Of course.
to use it.
So as IDE, we're trying to help entrepreneurs, like for instance, Mr. Bright Ziva in this case, make agribusiness as a venture. Like we all know, like the climate in Zambia is changing tremendously. So you find most of our farmers rely on rain-fed crops.
I was affected with climate change. There was a drought for almost 1 month. That means that we enter into loss.
We can take, for instance, like the drought that we experienced like in the 2021-2022 farming season.
Yes.
Like most people were just like confused, like they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
Yes. So we want our lead farmers to develop that resilience, like to absorb from those shocks that are there. So as IDE, we're trying to encourage our farmers to venture out into horticulture. And how do we do that? We try to encourage them to use various types of irrigation, drip irrigation and so on.
Right.
So you don't have to have a fancy, so sophisticated irrigation system, no. As well as someone has got a pump to pump water from a water source.
Right.
So we help them set up those irrigation kits.
And then obviously as time goes along and they build more capacity, they can go into methods like drip irrigation that allow them to be able to conserve the amount of water they use, correct? Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Because we're trying to encourage our farmers to let them know that farming is still possible even off the rains and like always relying on the rainfall.
I transplant cabbage in 9,200. Then in that time, cabbage was ready on April. So people coming from different districts, they are able to come even at night to look for cabbages. Then I move in other districts. In Luansha, Kitwe, I was supplying. My firstborn is a farmer because he knows where money comes from.
IDE increases opportunities for small-scale farmers to make more food in different ways by teaching them skills that help meet the challenges brought about by climate change. Let's use Bright as an example. Bright is trained on new ways to farm. Bright then becomes a lead farmer. He is now the in-between person in the community and with IDE. Bright lives in the community. This means the farmers see firsthand how he is using the skills he got to improve his crop. Bright then trains his fellow farmers. They in turn improve their skills. This leads to knowledge and skill being passed down, which increases better agricultural practices, leading to better crop production and a bumper harvest. What are the real benefits that some of you can say that you have gained from the trainings that IDE are giving their lead farmers?
There are so many benefits that we are getting from these trainings that we are receiving through our lead farmer. For example, in my case, I know now that for me to have a good harvest, I need to test the kind of soil that I have. Maybe it could be acidic. When it is acidic, I know what to apply.
Of course.
A lot of things. Then I know when to apply. So really, as far as I'm concerned, it's of a good benefit.
Absolutely.
We are benefiting.
The benefit
on the benefits, you just need to look at his demo farm. It is encouraging us farmers to learn. When I look at what is happening at Bright's farm, I can take away one thing. What can I do differently on my land? I need to work harder, and where I need help, I come to Ziva for solutions. Then I can also share the knowledge he has given me.
After learning in farming, you should practice that you learn. Then is when you are going to see the benefit of that technology.
When it's winter time in Zambia, it's not easy for your crops or livestock. How do you beat the cold and ensure you're still productive? We want Bright and other farmers to be able to properly keep chickens even in winter. Matthews Mwanabayeke from Hybrid is here to give us a better understanding of winter brooding. Can you tell us what exactly is winter brooding?
Winter brooding is simply brooding chicks in the cold season when it's cold, where you are supposed to regulate the temperatures up to their highest standards.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you breed the chickens in the winter as well, Moses?
Yeah.
What are the best practices for winter brooding?
For winter brooding, the chicken house has to have curtains. Of course, they shouldn't be closed 100%. You need to leave some space, more especially on top, so that you can also allow ventilation in there. But temperatures have to be regulated nicely. You need to have a thermometer there and then regulate the temperatures. And then you make sure that the whole house is covered, and then just a little space open on top of the chicken house for ventilation, so that the air that is coming from outside, it has to come in and then at some point go out, so that at least there's that air circulation. Yeah, in case there could be ammonia building up in there, it has to go out. You also need to look at the quality of feed that you have put in place. You also need to look at the quality of water to ensure that your beds will grow up to the standards.
Farmers must pay attention to brooding in winter by controlling the temperature. You can do this by having heat sources to keep the chicks warm, such as charcoal burners, electric heaters, and heating lamps.
Brooding is a bit expensive in winter.
It's more expensive in winter.
In winter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you are using charcoal, you have to spend on charcoal. Even electricity, you also have to spend. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Moses just told us that it's a little bit more expensive to do winter brooding. But how does that translate to the market? Are we still making a profit, or are we struggling at the market?
I would say the profit is still there, in the sense that the way we come up with the marketing price for the chicks, we work out the cost of keeping a bed from day old up to point of sale.
Right.
So whatever has been used during that particular time has to be added to that budget of yours up to point of sale. Then at the end of the cycle, you sit down and then you plan on how much you are going to sell your bed.
The pricing itself, yeah, it depends on the quality of the chick.
Quality of the chicken.
The quality matters most, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the best quality of the chicken, Bright will need to start well. He should get his day-old chicks from Hybrid Poultry Farm. Hybrid day-old chicks get the necessary vaccinations before leaving the hatchery. They also ensure that their chicks are of the highest quality and can withstand different region environments and climates. Another advantage is Hybrid's free technical support. Hybrid has technical field officers who go round on farms guiding farmers so that they can get the most out of their investment. If the poultry is not being brooded well, what risks can a farmer face?
One, they will incur a lot of mortalities. They have higher mortalities. And then
deaths.
Apart from that, they will not grow up to the standards. They will grow below the standards. And then they will be eating more of the feed, but looking at the body size, it will be a little bit maybe smaller if the temperatures or these other things are not regulated nicely.
That's very serious risks.
In farming, when there is some challenges, is when there is also a market. To enter in winter brooding is an advantage.
Mr. Bright.
Hello?
Words cannot express the amount of joy that we've experienced on your farm. It's been an absolutely brilliant experience.
I want to be a commercial farmer. That is my vision. I need that when you come, you see the difference between the level I was to another level.
Well, thank you very much. We actually have to leave now, but that's not it for you. We'll see you next week
On another episode of
Munda Make Over.